Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny and welcome to my second TBR of the Summer of Joy. This is my TBR for the month of July. If you didn't see my first TBR for June, I am trying to bring more joy into my life for the summertime, which is one of my favorite times of year. I love all seasons really, but in summer there's a really specific feeling I'm going for, and I found in the last few years, because of the pace of summer and working, I tend to just let it pass me by without really embracing those things about summer that I love. And so I wanted to really be intentional about my summer this year. And so that being said, how that relates to my reading is that I wanted to make sure I was picking books that were really exciting to me to read, and also that encompass a little bit of an easier reading level for me. So not as much serious fiction, although I still am delving into that, but yeah, I'll just explain it more as I'm explaining the books. Okay. So for my audio listen for July, I have picked The Lonely City by Olivia Laing. This will be my second book by Olivia Laing. I really enjoyed her first that I read, which I think is To the River. If not, I will put the title here. And this is specifically an exploration of the feeling of loneliness and how loneliness affects those who are in cities. And it's reflecting on Olivia Laing's own experience of living in New York and having this really lonely time in her life. And so I'm really excited to learn more about the kind of different versions of loneliness that have been explored through literature and through psychological study over the years, and also to hear more about Olivia Laing's personal experience. I really enjoy her writing style, and yeah, I'm excited to listen to that on audio. Next, I also have a carryover from my June TBR, which is Richmond Now and Then, an anecdotal history by Fonda. I am about here in this one, and I wasn't focused on finishing it up in June, but I definitely think I can finish it in July. And so this is actually a little history of the town that is across the river from where I grew up, and it is the town I went to high school in and did, you know, all the shopping and all those types of things when I was growing up. So it's really interesting to learn about the place where you lived and learn some of the history and anecdotes about it that you may not know otherwise. I also wanted to mention this just because I didn't mention this in my June TBR. I am almost through reading The White Bone by Barbara Gowdy. This is a Canadian novel, really unique. It is following families and herds of elephants as they search for this mythical white bone, which is hopefully going to lead them to safety from humans who are poaching them almost to extinction. So it's a beautifully written novel, and you can hear more about this one in my June wrap-up, where I will talk more about it. Okay, so I'm doing a little bit of a deep dive with another book I've been reading in June, and it is leading me into other books. So I love it when that happens. It's Writing Women's Life by Carolyn G. Helbrin, and I have read it before. It was a reread for June. And as I was reading it, I realized that the quote that I really loved from that book that is inspired an art piece for me was an Adrienne Rich quote. And I happened to pick up this book, Adrienne Rich's poetry, selected and edited by Barbara Charlesworth Gelpi and Albert Gelpi, which is text of the poems, the poet on her work, reviews, and criticism. So this I found in a little free library a while ago, just been keeping it because I knew this name was important to me, but I don't know much about Adrienne Rich. And so if you're familiar with my channel and you've been around a while, you know that I made a whole series of videos about books from the 1970s. There's something about that decade that is just very compelling to me, that resonates with me, and especially the women, the feminist writers who kind of exemplified that era as well. Adrienne Rich being one of the women who were working there during that time. And so all of that is, you know, seeping over into my reading. And so this is why I wanted to pick this up. I'm not very far in. I'm just reading a few pages a day. And so this is one of the things I'm reading for research, but also just for pleasure because I love reading poetry. And then I decided to read Men Explain Things to Me by Rebecca Solnit. Now, I have read Rebecca Solnit's memoir, which I listened to and she narrated and I adored. I was contemplating listening to this on audio, but Libby, I believe the Libby app didn't have this on audio. And so I got it because I've been wanting to listen to some of her other books, her more recent books like Orwell's Roses and different things like that. I really like her writing style, but I wanted to start at the beginning. I wanted to start with her seminal essay, And Men Explain Things to Me is that one. So there's other essays in this collection, but this is kind of the big beginning of her popularity, I guess. And so I'm excited to start there and then explore back out because Rebecca Solnit has a really great catalog of work that I want to explore. Again, this whole, I believe Rebecca Solnit is is in the next generation down from Adrienne Rich, but definitely a feminist writer writing in the 80s. So that's kind of a theme I'm going through right now. It's a happy place for me. I know that may not seem like somewhere for joy, but it is a happy place for me. It's a place when I'm reading these types of books, I feel seen. I feel this sense of connection with the writers, with a way of looking at the world, and so it's a really life-affirming feeling for me. So that's why it may not seem that for everybody, but it is for me. And I'm going to continue on with my Reading Across Canada TBR that I created for 2023 with Crow Lake by Mary Lawson. This book is set in Ontario, in the heart of the Canadian Shield, and it's a family saga going across 4 children, 1 sister and 3 brothers, and I think there's a little bit of a mystery here somewhere, but I think it's like, you know, familial relationships and resentment and, you know, all those good things. So I'm hoping that I'll really like this one. And then I'm going to read Looking for Jane by Heather Marshall. This is a historical fiction work set in 3 different time periods: 2017, 1971, and 1980. And this is about an underground network of women who were providing abortion care during a time when abortion was still banned in Toronto, Ontario. And yeah, I'm really interested in learning more about this period of Canadian history. And so that is my second Summer of Joy TBR, and I'm really looking forward to reading. I've been having a really great reading month in June, and it was really exciting to actually add in another book, which I wasn't expecting to happen. So hopefully that will happen in July too, and I will get through all these books and then have something else to share in August's TBR. But I wish you a very happy reading month in July, and I will be back again soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching.